Okay, now that we've set up our GitLab repository so that it can be connected to our NetBeans, we need to fire up NetBeans. So we're going to just create our hello world. You've probably done hello world so much you're tired of it, but that's always, there's a reason why that's a good place to start, because it's it's kind of a foolproof application, and it just establishes our connection. That's all we're trying to do now. Now this is a fresh install of NetBeans, and so when you do that, this little splash screen comes up. If you don't want to see that every time, just kind of uncheck it here. It does have useful stuff, so it's something you might want to come back to at some point. But the way things are organized is by projects, and so we're going to create a project. Now there are two ways of doing that. One is with this brown icon here on the toolbar, and the other is we can say File, New Project. Doesn't matter, they both lead to the same place. And when it comes up, we see there are three options on the left side of this, along with a whole bunch of other stuff. So we have Java with Maven, Java with Gradle, and Java with Ant. And so what we want is Java with Ant. And we want to create a Java class library. So we go to Next on that, and then we get to choose our project name. Now the project name I want you to use is CS2173. Now it complains I want to put it somewhere else, actually. Where I want to put it is in here, and this is probably in your case, if you're on Windows and you're just starting it up, this is probably where it wants to put it. Again, you can browse and put it anywhere you want, doesn't really matter. Now do check this box that says use dedicated folder for storing libraries. We may or may not be using a third-party library at some point in this course. If we do, then it's important to have that checked. Okay, so project name CS2173, uppercase, and then we finish, and it creates a bunch of stuff here. So let's take a look at this. It has, you just kind of open up what it has. The source packages are, we're going to put our code. The libraries right now, the only library are just basic JDK. And if your JDK is a different version, not to worry, as long as it's 8 or above, then it should be fine. Now, in the source package, and notice there's this thing called the default package. If we don't have a named package, then everything goes in the default package. That is a state of sin. That is something we do not want to do, and something which, if it's done in this course, then it'll get marked down. Just be sure of that. It's a good practice, standard practice in Java, to always have a named package for every class that you write. And so to create one, we right-click on source packages, we say new Java package, and we name it. Now, most of the code is going to go in a package called CS2173, very creatively named. The one thing to notice is that CS in this case is lowercase. Okay, the project's name is uppercase, the package is lowercase. That's because of a Java convention that package names are used lowercase. You can use uppercase, but I won't like it. Okay, so now under source packages, we now have a named package, CS2173, and so we want to create our hello world in there. So we right-click on that, we say new, and I want a Java main class, and I see all this other stuff, a folder, a package, Java class. Java class might work, and I'd have to type stuff in, but I'm lazy. I want to create a Java main class, And so if something that I want isn't on this list, then I simply click Other, and then under Java, we see that down here is a Java main class. Once I've selected that, it'll appear in that pop-up, so I won't have to worry about it again. So again, there's our old hello world, and it creates it, and importantly, it declares the package for you. It actually creates some Java doc stubs. We'll talk about what that is all about as the course progresses. But we want to put our code in this method here that says public static void main. And again, if this is all new to you, then don't worry about that. All will be explained. But for right now, you can just sort of follow along. And if you're used to things like Python, where things are, you just say something like print, then this may seem like a lot of verbiage. We have to say system.out.println, and there's a reason for all that. It will all be explained as the course goes on. For now, just press I believe, and now we need to run it. Now there are a couple ways to run it. One is we can just right-click anywhere in a main class and choose Run File. And then the output will appear in this place down here. Or we can, up here there's a little green arrow that we can click on, and it says, well, okay, it doesn't have a main class set. If we set the main class, then again, we run it. Okay, so now we have created our Java project, which we'll be using throughout the course. And we've created our first Java program, and we verified that we can run it. The next step is to now set up our Git and GitLab repositories, and that's the subject of the next video.